Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I am going to be reviewing an eyeshadow palette, and the one in question is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Thirsty palette, and I'm pretty sure it's sold out at the moment. I kind of picked it up as soon as it released on the Beauty Bay website, and I'm pretty sure at the moment, at the time of filming, it's sold out, so I presume at some point it will be restocked. So I thought I would put in my 2 cents on this palette, especially since I spent the money on it, so I may as well talk about it. So yeah, this is the look I created and I hope you like the look of it. I went very bold and colourful, which is a little bit out of my usual comfort zone, but you know, I'm quite enjoying it, and I'm probably just going to go out for a walk in a minute like this because I can. I know Jeffree Star is quite a controversial character. I can't say I really like him as a person that much, but all of his makeup that I've tried I have really liked. Admittedly, the only other thing I've tried is a liquid lipstick. It is this one, the shade Mannequin from his Velour liquid lipstick range. I'm wearing it at the moment topped with a bit of lip gloss from Barry M, but I have heard very, very good things about his eyeshadows, so I had pretty high expectations for this. So yeah, anyway, enough rambling. If you'd like to see how I got this look and what I thought about this palette, then just keep on watching. Is that the right way? Keep on watching. So these are all the shades you get in the palette. I'm not going to go through each one individually, but basically it's a range of kind of like warm tones on obviously the top row, then some more bright ones down here, and these middle shades are a new formula from Jeffree Star, and they're meant to be like pressed kind of really shimmery glittery pigments. So that was the main thing that drew me to this palette, because obviously it's something new, and yeah, I'm just really intrigued to see what they're like. And all these kind of bright colours like this blue and yellow and the kind of teal and this really, really bright peachy orange here is really kind of drawing me in. So that's the main reason I got the palette. I think it's going to be a really good summer colour scheme. Admittedly, probably not the most wearable, but you know, I like to kind of experiment with my makeup anyway, so that's fine by me. One thing I do like at first glance with this palette is the pan sizes are very big, so you're obviously gonna get quite a lot of use out of each shade, hopefully, although I can't tell how deep they are, but you never really can with palettes anyway. So first I am going to take a bit of this shade here, which is called Parched, and use that to set down my primer. I've already primed my eyelids using my Urban Decay primer, like I always do. I'm really kind of struggling as to what colours to go for. They're all kind of, I want to use everything, but that's going to be pretty hard. I think I'm going to start with this shade here called Taste Buds and see what that's like as a transition colour. It really hurts me to go into these pans because they've got the little Jeffree Star logo in it and they look really pretty. So it's not going on hugely pigmented straight away, but let's see if it will build. So yeah, it's starting to build now. So next I'm going to go in with the shade Bitch or Beach, which is probably a completely terrible impression of Jeffree Star, but I've never ever been good at impressions or accents, so there we go. This one is looking a bit more pigmented and that colour is very nice. It's very bright and is definitely not for someone that wants to go for a natural look, but I just think it's so fun. I mean, look at that colour, that is so cool. Next I am going to take this shade here, which is called Stroke, and just kind of start to add a little bit of depth to the crease. I think I'm going to go for like a full cut crease today because I've kind of been wanting to do one quite a bit recently, and I mean, it's quite a full-on look, and these are quite full-on colours, so why not just go for it? I don't feel like this shade is really transferring that well. Let's see if a different brush will help. So going in with a different brush. Okay, yeah, it is starting to pick up a little. So this shade, like the first one, is taking a fair bit of building, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. You can kind of get colour payoff out of it, but it's not like immediate. But sometimes, especially if you're a bit more inexperienced, that can be a bit better because you can't go in with too much to begin with. It just takes a little bit more patience. So I'm just going to kind of cut my crease now. I'm going to go and do it off camera quickly, just for like, in the name of time, basically. All I'm going to do, if you're not sure how to cut a crease, is use some concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm going to use a little brush to basically outline where I want my colours on my lid to go, and fill it in. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. So that is my crease cut. I think I'm going to try and do like a couple of different colours like over the concealer as well. I think I'm going to try this yellow shade Quench, because I feel like it will go nicely with kind of like the warm tones I've used. I don't think I've ever worn yellow eyeshadow before, so or have I? I don't know. I might have done. I'm just going to pack that on over the concealer. I have to say, as a first impression, it's not going on as like intensely as I would have hoped. But let's see if it will build up. So it's building fairly nicely. It's not the most pigmented eyeshadow I've ever used, although I do know that brighter colours like this are harder to make. And I mean, that's not bad. That's definitely like yellow. There's no mistaking that. So I have had a bit of fallout with this shade, but I am proper like packing it onto the eyelid, so that doesn't surprise me too much. And I think more on the outer part of my eye, I'm going to take this blue here called Submerge, which is just a really bright, gorgeous colour. So I'm hoping this will translate well on the eye as well. So I'd say these shadows are nice. They do need a little bit of building to get them like really intense, but you can get them there, so that is the main thing. And they blend quite nicely. I mean, I've got a fairly nice transition between the yellow and the blue colour there. So I'm going to try some of the like pressed pigment colours now. So I'm not 100% sure how to really use these. So I'm going to try with a brush first and then see how it goes. I think I'm going to go in with this light gold shade here, Filthy Rich, and just use it on a, this is a concealer brush actually, I think. So this is quite powdery. I don't know if you can see that, but it is a pressed pigment, so see how this goes on. So I don't feel like this is going on amazingly with a brush. It's kind of, I feel like it's all floating away a little bit. I'm getting a bit lost. Let's try popping a bit on with my finger and see if that works any better. I do prefer using brushes because you can get a lot more control over it, if you know what I mean. I'd say it has gone on a bit better with my finger. I'm going to go and grab my setting spray and see if using that on a brush is any better as well. So the brush is damp now, so let's try going back in again. I mean, even though it's not quite giving me the kind of finish that I'd maybe expected, it's still pretty, so I can't complain too much. And I think I will just need to do a bit more experimentation with these kind of pressed pigment shades. I haven't used pigments that many times before, so it could be user error. But anyway, I'm going to leave the eyes there for a minute. I'm going to go and do the rest of my face, then I'll be back to finish off the under eyes with you and wrap the video up. So like the main other colour I really wanted to use was this kind of turquoise colour, which is called Splash. So I'm just going to see what this looks like on my lower lash line. I mean, it's a pretty colourful look anyway, so why not add one more colour? Yeah, I think again, like some of the other shades, this is going to need a bit of building up, but we'll see what kind of intensity we can get out of it. I go in again with a slightly smaller brush in the same colour because the look was looking a bit too blown out. So let's see if we can build it up a bit closer to the lower lash line. Some really, really weird noises going on outside my window at the moment. I'm not sure if it's like a bird or a dog or what it is. It's really squeaky. And I think I'm going to go back in with the blue shade I used on the outer corner, and again just pop a bit of that on the corner. It's not showing up the best against this colour, but they are quite similar, so I'm just going to use a little bit of my highlighter I'm wearing on my inner corners and on my brow bone. I'm wearing this Laura Geller Gilded Honey highlighter. Now I'm just going to add a bit of, ooh, it's gone a bit melty, but this is the Arrow Enhance eyeliner. I'm going to add that into my waterline to brighten it up a bit, and a little bit of mascara on my lower lashes to finish it off. This is the Maybelline Push Up Angel mascara that has a big lump on the end of it. And this is the finished look, so I hope you like it. So my final thoughts on the palette. I do like the palette, it is very nice. I did have pretty high expectations for it. I'm not sure they've quite lived up to it, but it is still a nice palette. I'm pretty sure it's sold out at the moment, which is a pain, but I imagine Jeffree will be restocking at some point. So yeah, just obviously keep an eye on his social media and that kind of thing if you do like it. The matte shades are nice. They're by no means the most pigmented eyeshadows that I've ever used, but they build to a decent pigmentation, so you can get quite a kind of colourful bright look out of them, which is good. I really like the colour choices. I'm still on the fence about these pressed pigments. They didn't perform quite as I would have liked them to, but I have only used one tiny little bit in this look, and I feel like I need to give them a few more chances and a bit more experimentation before I write them off completely, because they do look really pretty. So yeah, overall I do really like the palette. It is quite expensive. Jeffree Star is kind of a higher end brand, so I mean it's not the cheapest, but for me, I don't regret it. I'm just hoping I can get them pressed pigment shades to work for me somehow. And that is it for this video, so I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, whether you are interested in this palette or not, whether you already picked it up or you're considering getting it in the next restock. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave as well. Thanks very much everyone, I'll see you next time. Bye!